Hello, my name is Jessrine Greivin. I'm a student at LSPR Jakarta, and right now I am under the lecture of Sir Charles Bonar Sirait for public speaking and presentation skills. Right now, I am going to give you a quick explanation about climate change. This explanation of climate change are based on an article in the New York Times, so let's begin. How much is this Earth warming? The average temperature on the surface of the planet has already increased to 1.7 degrees Fahrenheit since 1880, which not seem like much, but think about it this way. The heat of human emission is roughly equal to 400,000 Hiroshima atomic bombs exploding across the planet every single day. So, how much trouble are we in right now? The future generation are in big trouble before us, because it will gradually continue to get warmer and storms will grow more intense with longer periods of drought in between. In longer term, if emissions continue to rise unchecked, the climate disaster will be so severe that they will destabilize entire nation, send millions of refugees across borders, cause widespread of extinction for most species on Earth, and melt the polar of the ice cap while leaving most of the world's coastal cities several feet underwater. All this could take centuries, but something like sudden collapse of agriculture will trigger immediate chaos society. So, what is our optimistic scenario? The best case as we get is to get our act together and begin to rapidly bring emissions levels down. Meanwhile, the Earth turns out to be less sensitive to the greenhouse gas than we currently believe. Plants and animals adapt quickly, and a major technological breakthrough will help us as the society to limit emission and adjust to climate change. These are all opposites of what we are currently seeing right now. That the only thing that we need to control is to limit emissions using all the available tools and base behavior that currently at our disposal. So, what is the worst case scenario? The worst case is that the collapse of food production that causes a spiraling price, and as our capitalist utopia breaks down, billions will starve as our world gets violent and messy real quick, like a zombie apocalypse but with extreme hunger spreading across the world instead. So yeah, it will still look like a zombie apocalypse. This will be coupled with the melting of the Antarctic ice sheet, leading to rapidly rising seas that will force us to abandon many of our greatest cities and all of the social and scientific progress that we are making within them. Adding insult to the injury is the fact that many of these emissions were emitted while building these now abandoned underwater metropolises. And how much will be the ocean rise? If emissions continue unchecked, we are looking at a total rise between 80 to 165 feet, which will occur if we all in the ice poles are melted. So the ocean will rise. The real question is, how fast? Our scientists only have Earth history to base their predictions on, which suggests that the rate has occasionally at 1 foot per decade, so we'll have to adapt and alter coastline sooner or later, but much probably sooner than later. Because computer forecast only gives us a range of future possibilities, the most important evidence comes from the study of past climate conditions, which clearly show that every time amount of the carbon dioxide in the air rises in the Earth gets warm and the ice gets melts and the ocean rises. What's the more important to remember here is that we are in the uncharted territory. Humans are pumping carbon dioxide in the air faster than nature has ever done before. Scientists have been publishing strong evidence the warming is making drought and the heat waves more frequent, causing the rain of heavy storms and more severe coastal flooding. But while the internet has made it so more aware of weather disaster and distant countries, It's hard to prove that these are directly made worse by the climate change. Canada and Russia both have vast frozen islands and could see some economic benefits from warmer climate. Putin and the Russian, and until recently Canadian as well, have been reluctant to make ambitious climate commitments, but expect that to change as this country realizes that they will be swamped by millions of refugees from less fortunate nations. In the other hand, the libertarian and other political conservatives do not like the policies proposed to fight the climate change and have chosen to try and block them by actively undermining science. The effort has been funded by the oil and coal industry, whoever making money above all else. As more resources are devoted to solving the problem, our chances of big technological breakthroughs are improving, but we still should be spending about 3 times as much money as we are currently on, and these efforts accordingly to several in-depth reports. You can reduce your carbon footprint by doing things like plugging leaks in your home by insulation, installing smart thermostat, taking public transit, taking less airplane trips, buying an electric car and putting the solar panels on your roof, which is expensive. The big one is eating less meat, but what's really needed is you to speak up and exercise your right as a citizen because strong collective action through state national policies is how we'll make the most impact. Considering that we're plenty late in the game, but we finally reached the moment that we are with every country around the world agrees that this is a huge problem and seem ready to commit to take some kind of action. Leading corporations will continue to make bold promises to do their part, low emission technologies will improve, and many states and cities will go much further than any goal set by the national government. The United States, the world's biggest economy, is finally starting to move aggressively, and China, the world's largest emitter, is beginning to recognize that they need to do the same, as many of its megacities will be underwater if the seas rises too high. But it's up to us, the ordinary citizens, to continue demanding our political leaders to tackle the climate change, as it is the hardest problem that humanity has ever faced until now. My name is Jessrine Greivin. Thank you for listening, and I hope you can learn something from this video. Thank you.